So today we're going to compare the Resolution 360 clip versus the Quickclip Pro. These are the two brochures, and you can see that with the Boston clip you can take control. I never knew I lost control, for goodness sake. And with the Quickclip Pro, it's just kind of Pro versus the previous one was Quickclip 2. That's difficult to say. Now, there's one funny thing about the Olympus clip, by the way. You know, normally with these clips, you kind of close the handle, you deploy it, and it comes off. But oh no, with the Olympus clip, you deploy it. It says ka-chunk, and then you have to open the hand again because it's like a little hook at the end. And to disengage the clip, you need to open your hand. That's confusing. You could have done that better, Olympus. You want to close, and that's finished. You're done with it. This open and close business, doesn't make any sense. We want simplicity. They should all work the same. No confusion, no surprises. Thank you. Next generation, Quickclip 2 Pro 2, whatever, should have that. Anyway, you know that I'm a firm believer in clips. You know that I think that we should use more clips. You know that I believe that we should put clips on after all polypectomies to reduce the risk of bleeding, because the upheaval to the patient of looking down that toilet and seeing all that blood and clots and having to rush to hospital, the upheaval is massive. If we can do anything to reduce that, is the right thing to do, even though it does cost a bit of money. It's expensive. It's expensive for us in the West, and it'll be even more expensive in other parts of the world. Now, as before, we're going to do 6 rounds in the ring, mano a mano, jaw strength, control and maneuverability, dimensions, drag down the biopsy channel, grip and price. By the way, I can tell you straight away that the price in leads that we pay is identical for these two clips. They're both £50 each, which I think is expensive for a clip, to be honest. Another thing that is the same with them that I can say straight up is that they're both MRI compatible up to a 3 Tesla magnet, which is a stonking magnet, up to 15 minutes in the magnetic field, and you wouldn't MRI anyone for that long anyway. So they're both MRI safe. Now, jaw strength. Now I want a strong jaw because you want to kind of hook around the edge of the corner, pull it across without deforming the jaw and catching the other end of the EMR defect, ideally. Now, measuring the jaw strength, I find that the Resolution 360 has a slightly stronger jaw. I measured that it takes 0.38 Newton to deform the 360 Resolution clip, whilst it takes 0.28 Newton to deform the Quickclip Pro. Neither of them are particularly stiff, but certainly the 360 is the better of the two. Instinct is even stiffer than either of those two, but out of these two, it's the Boston that wins. Somewhat light round, I admit it, but that goes just in favor of the Resolution 360. Round 2, control and maneuverability. And of course, remember that the Boston clip, the Resolution 360, has been designed for control. And just a reminder how I actually measure it. I take an endoscope like this, and then we put the clip down, measure does it open, does it close at the end, and then we put a big wheel all the way back like that, lock the wheel, try the same thing again. Does it twist? Does it rotate? Does it open and close? Yes. Okay. Then we're torturing the kit here, putting the little bit wheel forward, and that will give you even a tighter bend at the end. Same thing again. Does it rotate? Does it open and close? And at this point, you still have control with the Quickclip Pro, but it's beginning to struggle a bit. It's beginning to kind of become a bit jerky instead of the smooth rotatability. And then when I put a sharp bend on the shaft of the scope, kind of bring it up like that, still got this bit kind of straight like this, it's lost it. The Quickclip Pro can't do it anymore. Whilst the 360, I can put 2 loops on it like this, and the 360 will still work, still have some sort of control. So that's good. There's no doubt about it. The round 2 is won by Boston's 360 Resolution. I guess no surprises. It's designed for rotatability. Just just to remind you, the way it actually works is that most clips, they rotate by twisting the handle. You rotate the little guide wire in the center, the one that closes the clip, and that makes the clip rotate. But the 360, cleverly, is the sheet that you rotate. The guide wire, the wire in the center that closes the clip stays the same, but the sheet around it rotates. Of course, with a rigid sheet like this around it, you can exert much more force. So that's how the Boston kind of solved the problem of rotatability. It's not perfect. I have had occasions where I did struggle with the 360 as well, awkward positions inside the mount, but on the whole it's probably the best there is for controllability and maneuverability on the market. Round 3, drag, which I think is probably the least important, but basically this measures the resistance of the clip as you put it down the channel. You want a clip that slides down as easily as possible without any hitches, and I measure it by kind of measuring the resistance as I pull the clip kind of the wrong way around the scope. And the Quickclip Pro exerts a resistance of 0.98 newtons, whilst the Resolution 360, the resistance is 1.6 newton. There's no doubt about it, there is more resistance with the Boston 360 because it is a slightly thicker insertion kind of shaft. I guess it has to be in order to kind of transmit the force. So this somewhat light round goes in favor of the Quickclip Pro. Now round 4, dimensions, and I think this is an even race here. Both clips open to about 11 millimeters. Both clips are quite long. They're both a bit too long in the tail. So once you deploy them, they're 16 millimeters from the tip of the clip to the tail, the tip of the tail. And the shorter the tail, the better. We want really short, stumpy tails because it makes it easier to put the next clip. What inevitably happens if you're not careful, you tend to put the clip at the most convenient place, and then you'll find that the second clip which is more difficult to place in the first place, you've gone for the easier one to start with. The second clip, all of a sudden, you're not only in a more difficult place, now you've got a big clip sticking up and getting kind of caught. So we want short tails, guys. Short tails. Thank you very much for the next generation of clip. Anyway, this round 4, dimensions is an even heat, I think. They're both open the same and they're both just about as long as each other. 16 millimeters, too long. Round 5, grip, and just to remind you, the way I measure the grip is I put a theatre gown which is kind of strong and slippery, and I clip the clip to the edge of the theatre gown, and then I measure how much force it takes to dislodge the clip. And this round is resoundingly won by the Resolution 360 clip. It takes a stonking 11.7 newtons to pull that off. I haven't measured any stronger grip of any clips on the market to pull that off, compared to quite poorly performing 2 newtons only to pull off the Olympus clip. I would have thought it'd be more. There's only like a little undulation as kind of teeth at the end of the Quickclip Pro. And maybe it's not biting enough. There's some, well, maybe it's the weak limbs. It should have held on better than 2 newtons only. So this round 5 goes in favor of the 360 resolution clip. Price, I already told you. Price is the same in Leeds. It might be different in your unit, of course. The prices we get in Leeds, it depends on the number we order. It depends on what other Olympus kit, what other Boston kit we use. For example, we use all Boston biopsy forceps, and we'll probably get quite a good deal for that very reason on our Boston clips. So check with your local kind of rep to see what you can achieve. There might be that one is cheaper than the other. Both are too expensive, I think. £50 is too expensive. Clips we should use it much more freely, and they should be dirt cheap. I mean, you're making thousands of these clips, aren't you guys? They're like biopsy forceps. There's just loads of them we should use. So the final scores are in, and to remind you, in this table I've kind of ordered the rounds in order of importance. The aspects of a clip that I rate the most important are the grip, the strength of the grip. I want a strong grip because if the clip falls off, That's when you get the late bleeding. That's when you can get a leakage from your perforation that you thought you closed, but then the clip falls off and you start to get leakage. Patient goes a bit septic, and it's curtains. That patient needs to go to theatre. Then at this point it's too late to go in and try to kind of put more clips on, probably. Control I rate highly. I want a clip that will open and close in even the most difficult positions. Price I find important, but that's an even race. Dimensions, even heat again. Jaw strength, little bit stronger the Boston clip. The drag a little bit lower with the Quickclip Pro, but these are light rounds that I don't really weigh so heavily. So you can see from this table, there's no doubt about it, the winner is the Boston 360 resolution clip.